Hey everybody, this is EternallyPrussian's Warframe, here to finish up the Discontinued Weapon series. So this will be a double feature, showing both the Gorgon and the Boar off. I'm going to be doing both weapons, and all you'll see is just a simple cut from one to another. Now, there is another discontinued melee weapon, and that is the machete. But the machete was around for such a limited amount of time that I honestly don't count it, simply because the Gorgon, the Ether Daggers, and the other discontinued weapons here had been around for quite a while, and the machete was pretty much, in terms of weapons, just here and gone. Nothing really stuck about it, and although I do have the blueprint, I don't have the weapons space, as I may have mentioned in another video, to build it. So I'm not going to waste time on putting it out just to waste a weapon slot, and then regret it but can't delete it because I'm a weapons collector. So, even though I will be using, of course, the Scoliac and maybe even the Embolist, this is a video about the Gorgon. Now, the Gorgon is the impact equivalent of the Soma, and it's the weapon the Grineer minigunners use. So, if you recognize the looks, minus, of course, the colors have been changed, that's where you'd know it from, if you fight a lot of Grineer missions. Now, this was replaced by the Soma, obviously, and although the corpus equivalent of it, which happens to escape my memory at the moment, was also released, the Gorgon is really lacking compared to the Soma, because the Soma has basically everything better. Higher fire rate, bigger magazine size, faster reload speed, more accuracy. If I already mentioned a bigger clip, it's just everything about it except the impact damage is better. Because the Soma is a slash weapon, the corpus equivalent of it is a puncture weapon, and the Gorgon is an impact weapon. So there is a big difference, and again, this fire rate, as you can see when I'm trying to wind it up, is tediously slow. I mean, it's almost painful, which is why when I first did this recording, before the file got corrupted, I was using speed trigger on it because it's just almost inhospitable to use when you're waiting forever for it to wind up. Then you watch the bullets fly everywhere, and it's just no good. The Gorgon, I think, was more designed for basically not only the heavy Grineer units, but for Warframes that could just sit there and take it. Warframes like Rhino or Frost, not Valkyr. Valkyr is actually built fairly light. Just because she does have all that armor doesn't mean she should have all that armor, because her shields are extremely weak, but her health is pretty high, and unlike shields, health doesn't come back. Not only that, but she is incompatible with the aura that regenerates your health. So you're kind of screwed there, so the Gorgon would not be ideal for any class that's much squishier than, say, Frost is, which is a bit hard to say, as Frost and Rhino have the two highest armor ratings in the game, so pretty much any class is squishier than them. But the Gorgon, I fully understand why it was replaced, and before the Damage 2.0, this weapon probably would have beaten the Soma pretty easily, because even though it would have higher fire rate, this thing just did a ton of damage. And now that it's been converted to impact and puncture and such, it really feels lackluster. So I fully understand why it was replaced, and I'm not exactly happy it was replaced, but the reasons with Damage 2.0 now, it's completely understandable, and it was a necessary replacement, to be honest. As much as I would love to recommend the Gorgon to all of you, it's a bit like how bad I felt when the Boar was discontinued, because the Boar was great, but the stuff that came after it, while I won't say was a replacement, I suppose filled the void. So it's not like I can really complain about it. So I am not going to finish this mission. Instead, I'm going to swap you right over to, and as an excellent transitioning topic, the Boar. And we're jumping right back in here, and right now I am using the Boar. The Boar is an impact automatic shotgun, and when I mean automatic, I don't mean Sobek automatic. I mean as in, that's me holding down the trigger and it just ran through 10 ammo like nothing. It's basically, I would dare say, without adding shotgun spaz, which I can't even imagine what that would do, it would basically turn this into a minigun shotgun, for lack of better terms, because it's brutally quick and it does a lot of damage. Now, the weapon that was supposed to technically replace the Boar was the Sobek, and that's the standard Grenier shotgun. Now, compared to the Sobek, it has actually lower damage in impact, lower damage in puncture, but it has higher damage in slash. Now, because it has a half the magazine size, it has about half the reload rate. And I think even now, it still holds up for those of you who can't stand the Sobek like me. This is actually an excellent weapon to own if you happen to have saved it. Please don't delete it. It's a wonderful weapon. And the fact that it has a ridiculously fast fire rate and it's full auto, I mean nothing quite like holding down your trigger finger and just hammering away into enemies, just round after round smashing through them, which is what I did before Damage 2.0. This was I pretty much chose this over the Strun any day of the week. One of my first weapons I actually got to level 30, just because I was, like, addicted to it. So, does it still hold up? I guess so. I mean, yeah, I guess it's not as good as the Sobek, because it has less damage, less magazine size, and it has, even though it does have a faster fire rate and a faster reload time, you have 20 ammo per clip. And it's not full auto like this, where you can literally just hammer out a crap ton of shots and then realize your ammo supply is dead. So, yeah, I guess it has its disadvantages, but I still think, even though the Sobek is technically better, I'd say, the Boar is still a great weapon. So, I'm going to leave it at that, because I don't have a whole lot more to say, and there haven't been that many discontinued weapons, which is kind of good, because I like a lot of the stuff that they've put out, though there are some weapons that need to be completely removed for being useless. But I think that's a discussion for another day. So, this wraps up Eternally Prussian's Discontinued Weapons series. What's coming up next? I really don't know. I have a lot of videos to work on, I know that. So if this is uploaded last in a string of 8, those are the videos I've been working on. If Discontinued Weapons gets uploaded before all of that, well, then you'll know there's a whole bunch more coming your way. So with an explosion from the mining machine, that's it.